I'm here in the Shell Ridge Open Space, and the trails here are getting pretty popular. So I'm here to see how people are learning how to share the trail. Let's go. Hey, Ranger Art Janke.
Hey Brendan, how you doing today?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I was just out here on the trails riding my bike.
Couldn't have picked a better day for it. It's gorgeous out.
You got it.
Are you familiar with the rules about bikes out here in the open space?
Not really, so I'm glad I ran into you.
Great. Well, the first rule is bikes are only allowed on trails over 8 foot in width, which is great because the majority of our trails are that wide, so you can go almost anywhere in the open space. Bikes are supposed to be operated at a safe speed, under 15 miles per hour, so nice and slow. And always be courteous to other users when you pass. Say on your right, on your left if you're passing somebody, and always let someone know you're there.
So this is an 8 foot wide, right?
Correct.
But the smaller ones,
The smaller ones, the 4 foot trails, the narrow trails,
those are meant for walkers.
are prohibited by bikes, yes.
What are some of the issues, when bikes go on the smaller ones?
You know, it's really a safety issue. Lots of bikes, especially like the one that you have there, are basically developed from kind of the motocross industry. And so I bet you could get to go into a great speed on that bike. I bet you could be up to about 40 miles an hour if you really tried to on that bike. And so if you were approaching somebody who's walking at a gentle pace, maybe a few miles an hour, and you came ripping around a corner where you couldn't see them, didn't have the proper line of sight, you might have an issue running into them. So it's really a safety issue.
Also a safety issue, I imagine, would be riding at night.
Night's a big time issue. There's lots of fancy lights out now for the bicycles. Still, parks are closed half hour after sunset. And so you're supposed to be out here after that. Pretty much our rule is, if like when we were a kid, if the lampposts are coming out on the streets, it's time to head home. So it's if you're out here after that, you're definitely riding at your own risk, and definitely a dangerous situation.
Plus there's got to be wildlife concerns, I imagine, too, especially if you're on, sort of the smaller trails.
Yeah, we really haven't had any trouble with that, but there are different animals using the park at nighttime. And part of having bicycles out here and having the lights out here, it can actually disturb them and interrupt their natural life cycle and their hunting cycle as well.
I see a lot of people around, whether they're running or walking or on their bikes, they've got headphones on. It's kind of the general thought about that.
You know, there's no official rule about it, but really common sense is only have one earbud in, and you always, when you're out in the open space, no matter who you are, you always need to be aware of everything around you.
Got it, got it.
So it's always a good idea to just have one in and have one ear listening and looking out.
We're in the trails kind of behind Borges Ranch. Are they getting more popular? You see a lot of people out here during the day?
Shell Ridge, yeah, here behind Borges Ranch has a lot of use, heavy use of all types of users, for mountain bikers, hikers, equestrians. Probably the biggest variety of our users are in this area.
Do you know any good trails around here for me?
Yeah, well, you're on the Brownies Mount Diablo Trail. It's one of the best ones through the park, and you can actually continue on this trail all the way to the top of Mount Diablo if you wanted to.
Oof. I don't know.
If you're
maybe
that
another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for giving me the heads up.
You got it.
All right, Art.
Enjoy your ride.
Okay. On your left. Excuse me, Carol Lane?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I am good. Doing a lot of work here, I see.
Some, yeah.
So you're a trail dog, right?
Yes.
And the trail dogs are a part of...
Save Mount Diablo.
Okay.
And we do work for the open space, Walnut Creek Open Space, the East Bay Regional Parks, Mount Diablo State Park, East Bay Mud.
Well, what are you doing today?
Well, today we're just sort of trying to block off some trails that have been illegally built that aren't supposed to be trails, and making it so that the bikes sort of stay on the roads and stay where they're supposed to.
So over time, bikers have come through here and essentially have created a trail just by riding in the same spot, right?
Yeah. But sometimes there are animal trails to begin with, and then once you get people using them, more people use them, and more people use them, and more people use them. And sometimes you get big ruts, and sometimes you get the leather breakdown, and so we're just trying to block them off so that it prevents that from happening. Gives the animals in the open space a more contiguous space to live.
Why is that important?
Well, first of all, the trails sort of interrupt the habitat of the animals, and we have to consider that when we're out here in the open space. I've heard numbers, meters on each side is taken away from them. So this is just to give the animals more space that's undisturbed by humans.
You're a volunteer.
Yes, sir.
Why do you volunteer?
Well, I like to be out here. I like doing the work, and the people are usually quite nice. And it keeps me occupied. I retired almost 4 years ago, and it just keeps me busy.
Well, I had a great time riding on Shell Ridge today. If you want to get involved, visit the Walnut Creek Open Space website to learn more about the trail dogs and what's going on. And remember, share the trail.